this right now while I'm eating so I can like kind of have a talk with you guys. I'm very, very appreciative of you guys. 1, 2, you guys know that I am very, very adamant on supporting mental health and all that stuff, right? So not my buddy, but a big time editor that I looked up to when I was younger, back in around like 2016, 2015, passed away from, depression. It was hard. It's a hard thing for everybody to understand. Not everybody really understands exactly what it is. So, I mean, this is one of my buddies. His name was Ravik. He was a really good editor, like one of the best at the time. He was like way ahead of his time. And he sadly passed away back in 2016 or 2017 or sometime within then. And, he was a really good, I want to show you guys actually this is his last edit, I believe, was this one. He made it with a bunch of his homies, and it's one of my favorites, so I want to show you guys. With a backup makeshift life in waiting. Everybody says time is everything. And in a lot of his videos, he would actually include messages, and sometimes, to me, it feels like, some of those messages were kind of like signs of help. So one of my biggest things to tell you guys is, because I've been through it, and I know what probably a lot of you guys have been through, tough times, trauma, whatever it is that brung whatever you are feeling now upon you. Guys, the biggest thing is to reach out to somebody, especially like, I wish if it was possible that to respond to every single one of you, if it was possible, I would. But, it's, if you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, it's best to try and find somebody to talk to as well. Like, I know that, some people might not have a great relationship with therapists or a great relationship with, with that type of stuff, but it is good to keep trying to find one if you don't have anybody that you feel like you are comfortable talking to, because there will be one person that you can find. And even if you think, no, I don't need one right now. See, I made that same mistake, and then I kept going. I kept using that excuse, and that excuse doesn't really work in the end, right? So try to find somebody to talk to every single time that something is brought upon you. You can't, it's not really something that you can deal with alone, although it is a very hard thing to be able to reach out to somebody and talk to them about something so personal. It's best to try your hardest and just look past it. You might think it might be embarrassing, or you might think that you're being too sentimental and people might not take you seriously, because that's what I thought for the longest time. I thought that if I did it, people would just like kind of brush it off and be like, and tell me the same thing every time. But you'll find that person that is able to talk to you in a way that you think is best for you and your feedback. I do this week, this leads me on to my final point, is I do this week, sometime this week or sometime next week, want to do a charity stream for mental health. So all of donations and all that stuff will go straight to the charity. I don't know if you can set up bits and subs, but if you can't, then I'd refrain from, if you're going to spend any money on subs or any money on bits, I would refrain from doing that. And instead, I'll let you guys know which stream it is ahead of time. It might be tomorrow's stream. It might be the next day's stream. We don't know yet, but I'll let you guys know ahead of time, so you guys don't donate subs, but you guys donate like the money to that charity. So I just want to talk to you guys really quick while I have a chance, and while I'm not in the game, but it would really mean a lot to me, you guys, because, I have been through a lot in the past few years. These noodles are good, by the way. I've been through a lot in these past few years, especially, like September to even recently, and there's a lot of different things that can combine these things to make it even more stressful for you. Like there can be stressful situations, anxiety, all that stuff, right? Like for me, there was those things when I first had my first kind of like blow up or whatever, right? I had those there were like 2 allegations, and thankfully, I was so quick to act on it, to be like, hey, like this is false. I have proof. They don't. They even admitted at the end that it wasn't true, right? So that at that point, that's where I hit one of my lowest spots of all time. It wasn't the fact that, yeah, I proved everybody wrong and I told my side of the story and I ended up, of course, being right. But just going through that situation always just gives me, like, in the back of my head, it's always something like lingering in my head. Like, what if somebody does that again and they keep doing it and they keep doing it and they keep doing it, and it just stresses me out. Like, you can't, like, sometimes, it's hard to sleep at night thinking about that stuff. It's stressful. And then that can lead to further things. I'm doing a lot better now. And the reason I'm doing a lot better is because I've talked to people, I've talked to people with same experiences. I've let out my feelings, not only to those people, but now that I'm comfortable, more to the public, like you guys, right? So once you're comfortable, it's never too late to talk to somebody about it. Even if you think that you're like, okay, I can get through this myself. It's selfish to do it yourself, right? It's selfish to do it yourself. In a way, you almost need other people, whether that be a therapist, your dad, your mom, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your brother, your sister. It doesn't matter, there's always somebody that you can talk to. But for some people, it might be hard to find that person, right? So you just got to keep looking and keep pushing for yourself.